Welcome back to another weekly vlog, and this week, guys, we're getting the hell back on track together, because if you saw my last vlog, it was such a different vlog because I did no training in it. Well, I did go train, but I didn't film anything. I was super, basically we were just spending a week at home together, because I'm pretty sure, I think I had the new COVID strain, to be completely honest. Like, I looked up the symptoms and I do feel like that is what I had. I'm squinting McGee because of the sun. I woke up today, well, yesterday I felt pretty good as well. It was my sister's birthday yesterday, but today feeling really good. I'm gonna film a full week of workouts this week. My hair done this week. I probably need to book my Botox in. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done this week, but I should probably get that done soon, because we are getting back on track. I don't really love like the whole like being off track and on track thing. Like, I don't really love that language, but for all intents and purposes, that is what this weekly vlog is going to be about. I need to do a food chop today, so we're going to do a full food chop together. I want to eat some different food, so I've actually like planned it out. I feel like I just go in and I go in on autopilot and I get the same things every week, which is fine, but I kind of do feel like I want some different food this week, just to give me a little bit more of a boost, like a bit more motivation, like cooking different stuff. I feel like you guys have seen when I make something new, it gives me like a boost. Not even necessarily new, but I don't want to eat the same things over and over and over and over again this week. The sun clearly doesn't want me to record, but I'm currently just charging my car, and then we are gonna head to the gym and train legs together. I'm filming a full week of workouts this week. I will just choose which workouts I'm gonna put in, but I will put today's leg day in because it's not one that I've actually shown you guys from my new program in a vlog yet, so I will definitely record that for you guys. And I also need to do some Alphalete stuff today. Yeah, welcome to a getting back on track together vlog week thing. God, the sun's doing my head in. This for my pre-workout today. 3D watermelon grape. I do prefer the cucumber and melon, but I don't want to like rip through every single one of those, so I'm switching up today and having a watermelon grape. To me, it just tastes like grape Fanta. That's basically what it tastes like. It smells like watermelon, but it doesn't taste like it. So I'm gonna drink this whilst I wait to charge my car, and then let's go and hit legs together. Cheers. So when I'm getting back on track with my training after time off, I do like to go into it, yes, with the mindset of knowing that I might be a little bit weaker. If, like, for example, when I was poorly, I didn't really have much appetite, so my calorie intake will have been a little bit lower. My sleep wasn't great whilst I was ill, so my energy levels, strength might have taken a little bit of a hit. So I do like to go into it with that in the back of my mind. Like, I've got that in the back of my mind, just so that I'm not putting all this undue pressure on myself to still be lifting what I was 2 weeks ago. However, what I also don't do, it's sort of like a fine balance. I really don't like to go into the gym just like automatically like slicing my weights in half. I basically will see how the first 1 to 2 movements go, and if they feel okay, then I will basically continue as normal and try and match my previous week's numbers, well, previous weeks of training's numbers. And luckily that was what happened this day for me. Like, I actually didn't feel bad at all, and my strength hadn't taken a hit. So if I could give you guys any tip when it comes to getting back in the gym, yes, be kind to yourself and be aware that you may be a little bit weaker, so that if you are, you're not beating yourself up about it or thinking you've regressed or that you've lost all your progress. And if you have got weaker, trust me, it comes back 10 times quicker than it takes you to build it in the first place. Within 1 to 2 weeks you'll be back where you were, so don't worry about that. But if I'd have gone into this workout just absolutely slashing everything in half, like taking 50% off all my weights, I probably would have actually had a lesser session than what I was capable of. So be mindful of the fact that you may be weaker, so that you understand why and you don't end up beating yourself up. But don't just assume that you 100% will be, because everybody's body reacts differently. And honestly, I was shocked that I hadn't lost any strength, because I hadn't been eating much the week before. My sleep was ass. Like, I was quite shocked, but somehow my body came through and actually wasn't any weaker. So I basically matched my previous week's numbers, which was a really good feeling. So starting off this session, I did my hip abductions, which I don't do frequently, but I do them at the start of this session as programmed by my coach, and then doing my glute drive. And I believe this is my last set here. This is my 5-rep one. So I work my way up as the reps come down. Obviously, lower rep, higher weight, higher rep, lower weight, pushing close to failure. Although I did try to not push maybe quite as hard, especially when I went into my leg press. I probably didn't push quite as hard as I usually would, just to be mindful that I don't want to completely fry myself. Oh, this is still paused. This is still paused from when I did my full week of workouts, so enjoy this pause. Sorry, I literally just took the workout clips from the full week of workouts. That's awkward. But yeah, I maybe didn't go as hard. My strength was the same, but I probably wasn't I wasn't really pushing for progressive overload or going absolutely ham in terms of, really, really, really squeezing every single last rep out in this session, because also this was literally my first session back after being poorly, and the week prior I had tried to get in the gym and it actually made me feel 10 times worse, and I ended up getting sicker and sicker, so I didn't want to make that mistake again. So moving on, I've then got leg press. This is a quad and glute focus day, so I have a good mixture of, obviously I've got my hip abductions, I've got my glute drive, leg press is more quad focus, single leg press, more quad focus, cable step ups, glutes, and then I finish off with leg extensions, which is obviously heavy quad focus. So I'm just doing my leg press here. I do one heavier set, then I do one lighter set. And then once I'm done with that, I do move on to doing just one set of single leg press. I actually really like how this is structured in this workout, because I fear if I had 3 sets of normal leg press and then 3 sets of single leg press, I would probably want to scream. So it's actually 3 sets in total on the leg press, a heavier set, a lighter set, and then a single set. And I know that you're probably looking at this and thinking, why have you only got a biscuit plate on there? Which you shouldn't be, because don't judge me. But the reason for that is my leg press in this gym, I kind of hate it. It actually weighs 100 kilos itself. So that's why you might look at my leg press clips sometimes in my vlogs and think, you should be way stronger than that, or you should be lifting longer than that for how long you've been in the gym. The reason why I'm not is because this leg press is the heaviest fucking leg press ever known to man. And I also don't really love, I feel like there's something about the path of motion with this leg press that I just don't really love. I feel like you're going to see it as it's sort of coming down here. I don't know, it's just the way that it moves, I don't love. It's almost like it sort of, not curves. I don't know how to describe it. I've just never really loved this leg press, to be honest. But yeah, by the way, guys, if you want this fully in depth with all of the form tips, I did do it in my full week of workouts video, but I'm just using this particular workout to basically run you guys through my experience of my first session back and give you guys some tips. So for example, with the knowing that you might be a little bit weaker, but also don't just strip 50%, because you might actually be completely bloody fine. Oh, my text is wrong there. This is good. So cable step ups, we are then moving on to, I've gone through these so many times, but basically you want to use a bench that is about knee height, and then to make these as glute focused as possible, I really want you to think about sitting back in the movement. So you want to be thinking about pushing that hip back and basically keeping that shin as straight as possible. So you can see here the shin of the leg that is up on the bench. My knee isn't moving forward, my shin is staying pretty vertical, and that's what you want to be focusing on, a vertical shin and hinging at the hips. So really pushing your hips back to get a good stretch on your glutes during this movement. And then moving on to the other side, and I do rest between legs. I've said this before, but I feel like sometimes people think you can't rest between legs, but you can, and actually you probably should, because you will have, with single leg movements to an extent, yes, it's strength, but it's also your central nervous system and your body just gasses itself out, because it's quite a lot of work to do. You do one leg working hard, then the next, and you don't want it to be impacted by you basically just feeling a bit fatigued in your body. You want to be able to still push close to failure, muscular failure. You don't want it to be your body's basically gassing out, and that's why you can't get to the end of your set fully. So that is cable step ups, and obviously this is a more glute dominant movement in this particular workout. So we are finishing up here, and then we are going to move on to our final movement of the day, which is just leg extensions. This was a really, when I get to this point in my workout, I'm like, oh, I can breathe. I mean, leg extensions make my quads feel sick, to be honest, but it just feels like
a little bit less pressure. So I'm just finishing off here with leg extensions. I do one much lighter set with a very high rep. As you can see, it's one set of 15, and then I do two heavier sets of 6 to 8 reps afterwards. And again, making sure you are lifting with muscle, not momentum. You're not flinging the weight up, you are contracting your quads to lift that pad up with your shins. You don't want to just be flinging the weight around, not lifting with any control, not lifting with any intention. You really need to avoid doing that. So yeah, that is my first session back, and honestly I felt really good for it. I was really surprised by the fact that my strength hadn't actually taken much of a hit. But again, just a reminder that just because you've had a week off, it doesn't always mean you're going to be weaker going back into it. You might be, but you also might not be. So see how your body goes, see how you feel, and adapt your workout to however you're feeling.
Food shop and lunch done. I finished unpacking my food shop and then I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yeah, Amy, you're forgetting to show everyone your back on track food shop, you dumb asshole. So unfortunately I'd put all that away, but hopefully you enjoyed my little lunch. That was honestly so nice. I think I do prefer it with prawns. Need a bit more sauce for the chicken just to taste a little bit less like chicken. Now, part of my getting back on track is listening to my coach's feedback. I did my check-in this morning and I have my feedback, so I'm gonna listen to that. Some colour comparisons just for this new Scarlet colour. It's much more pink. This is the original, which was like a true winey red. This is the new one. It's more like a raspberry red. I'm just going to do some colour comparisons for that whilst I listen to my coaching feedback, because multitasking.
Good morning, good morning. So at the moment everyone seems to be ill. Ames is feeling better. I know we did train last week and that was a bad idea. I would just say take those weights a little bit lighter. I'm not worried about body weight not moving for 2 weeks because you have obviously been quite poorly. So I'm super happy with that. Like that front shot has really come in here through the waist. Cardio steps have been quite low. Average like.
I should put my memory to the test, guys. I'm put my memory to the test on the go. I can do you these straight off the top of my head. Right, ready? Formula Red, Carmina, Cherry Ice, New Scarlet, OG Scarlet, Bordeaux, Cran. Boom.
Guys, good morning. I'm having to start the vlog.
I'm on my way to my hair appointment. I plan to park somewhere a little bit further to get some steps in. Parking is taken up, so now I'm having to drive to somewhere closer. Now I have 10 minutes till my appointment starts, and the traffic is diabolical in Leeds City Centre. So I think I'm going to be late for my hair appointment, which really stresses me out. I left myself an hour to get into Leeds. For reference, in a good traffic time, 25 minutes to get from my house to my hair appointment. So it's not even that I didn't leave myself enough time. I left myself plenty of time. The roads have just really fucked me up today. I'm gonna indicate right and go in the lane that has less traffic. Not doing anything crazy today. Well, actually no, I do want to get my bangs slightly shorter, but I'm gonna see what Jason says. I want like a full fringe, but like I kind of want it almost full, but I'm gonna see what he says, because if he thinks it's gonna look bad, he won't do it. That's one thing about Jason. I do like it though, to be fair, because if he thinks something's a bad idea, he will say. So I do like that about Jason. I know that some people want a hairdresser that just does whatever they want them to do. He does to an extent, but like I've joked before about going back really blonde, and he's like, yeah babe, absolutely no way, not a cat in hell's chance. He's like, if you want to do that, go find another hairdresser, because I'm not doing it. So I'm like, And he does really care about the health of my hair as well, which I really like. I'll catch you guys at my hair appointment. Okay guys, my hair is done. I like my hair, every time I get it done, it doesn't look any different, but it is different. Not a full fringe, but as you can see, it's like a lot shorter. And we just like ever so slightly darkened the tone a little bit, but still left some sort of dimension. Basically, I did want like more of like a kind of full fringe, but like a wispier one. But the way that Jason explained it to me was basically because of the way that my parting is, and because of my hair, just because I've basically worn my hair in a middle parting for so long, not entirely sure it's gonna work. And because I'm meant to be going to Austin in like 2 weeks with Alpha Elite for a photo shoot, he was like, I don't know if I'd want to encourage you to risk that, because what have grown out in 2 weeks time. Did bring like a tiny bit forward from the back. He said I look like Dakota Johnson. and I'm inclined to agree. I've actually just been to see the Botox prescriber because I want my Botox doing. You have to have it prescribed in person, you can't do it over the phone. And now I'm gonna get my Botox on Thursday because you can't get it done same day, same time. It has to be different. So I've got check-ins to finish off now. So I'm gonna go home and do that. Twinkle Toes' new car has been delivered, so we will have that to look at today. I'm not training today just because I do have a lot of work to do, and my week has been sort of not like thrown off entirely, but basically last night slept at my sister's, and I'm sleeping at my sister's house again tonight because her husband has gone away, and my sister, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, has hypochondria. Like, she's got really bad health anxiety, and obviously she's pregnant at the moment, so she doesn't want to be on her own. We're basically having a little trio sleepover, me, her and our little unborn girly pot. I did some check-ins this morning before I left for my hair appointment, so now I'm going to go home, finish off my client check-ins. I did park somewhat further away but not as far as I wanted, so let's see how many steps I've already got today, because so far today this is how many steps I have. So I only have 6 to get in, which actually is probably like a 35-40 minute walk for me, so I will be able to quickly get those in. That's the main thing that I'm wanting to focus on today, my diet and my steps in terms of getting back on track, because I'm not going to be training today. So that's the main thing that I want to be focusing on, is just making sure I hit my step count, my nutrition is good. I'm basically using this week to sort of like rebuild my habits block by block, because I'm telling you, if you are trying to get back on track and you try to do everything at once, it's probably not going to pan out that well for you, Diva. It's probably not going to pan out that well, and then you end up feeling frustrated. You end up feeling like, oh well, like I've not been able to be perfect, so what's the point? It's so much better to be consistently decent, aim to be perfect, because perfection is impossible to maintain in the long term, and then you maybe have 2 perfect days a week and 5 really shit ones. It's better to have like 70 to 80% good days every single day of the week than 2 100% days and the rest 40 because you think, oh well, it's not a perfect day, so there's no frigging point. And it's the way I encourage clients to look at things. If you're trying to get back on track and you're trying to do everything at once, just stop and try and basically stack those habits up one by one. So my focus is today on my nutrition and my step count. My focus tomorrow will be more on my training, step count and nutrition. Yesterday's focus was training and nutrition. By the end of this week, we should be really getting there in terms of training, step count, nutrition and cardio, because we're going to start building that up as well. Make some lunch and get on with client check-ins. I'm so excited to see how my ladies are getting on. Let's go. Oh, loss of pressure as always. Okay guys, it's now 5:15. I've got 4 check-ins left, but I've just had an exciting delivery. Yeah, my mum's advent calendar just got delivered, and in here, this is for me. This is my hellooo stuff. I got the fresh cotton one, but I'm not going to use this one yet because I'm saving this for house, because I want to use this on all my bedding and towels and stuff, and it's almost like a house congratulations present to myself, so I'm saving that one for then. Then I got the vintage vanilla. I've just realised I've told you what I've got and I've not explained what this is. Melissa's wardrobe, but she is a influencer, interior designer, stylist basically, and she does so many different things. I'm sure that she does a lot that we don't even realise that she does, and she's starting to get into like TV stuff. Like, she's working with M&S on like their clothing stuff at the moment as well. She launched her own brand, and it's basically really bougie laundry stuff, which sounds so weird, but it's so her. Like, she posts like the most luxurious stuff, like she has like Birkins and all this sort of stuff, but then she'll also post like how to keep your whites white, and like the most random niche like laundry stuff, house cleaning stuff, pans. Like, I thought it might be pans, but no, it's laundry stuff. So this is basically highly scented laundry stuff. So I got the fresh cotton one, vintage vanilla. I'm 99% sure she was saying it's not the same like perfume concentration as hers. Hers is 12%. That's stronger than like a lot of like designer perfumes. Niche, no, some of those go up to like 50-60. Guys, it comes in like the full set like this. We have tumble dryer sheets, fabric mist, and scented laundry beans. Cotton, but I'm not opening that one yet because I am going to leave it as a housewarming gift to myself. So oh my god, that smells so good. Wow. No, that actually smells like perfume. It's very like musky. Okay, I'm really happy with how this smells, because I did want the vanilla, but I was kind of scared that it might smell a little bit cupcakey. This is grown-up vanilla. So if you are eyeing this up, clue is in the name, vintage vanilla. It's like a more mature, musky vanilla. Then you've got the fabric mist. I love fabric mist. I really like the fabric mists from Marks and Spencer's, so all my hoodies are in the same wardrobe, but I feel like when something's been in the wardrobe for a while, they all have they get the same, like, almost like a bit of a woody scent. Like, you can tell when a piece of clothing hasn't been worn in a while. Like, this is going to be really, 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 really good for that. And then the final thing is the tumble dryer sheets. So these are actually, by the way, I bought this with my own money, this is not an ad. So these come individually packaged. How many is that? I think you get 20. But they come individually packaged because these ones are wet. Most tumble dryer sheets that you get for scent are dry, but she said that when they were testing, they were finding that the dry ones that they were testing the scents with, like, the scent was not sticking to the clothes at all. Put them in wet, they obviously come out dry, but apparently because they go in wet, like, the scent sticks to the clothes a lot better. And I'm pretty sure that if you sort of basically like dry these out, you would be able to put them in your drawers with like your clothes to keep them smelling nice. I used to get those from Primark. I used to get things that you basically hang them in your wardrobe and it keeps your clothes smelling nicer. You could definitely do that with these. That's basically it. And then I got a fresh cotton one as well, but I'm not touching that one because I'm keeping this as a house gift to myself. And it even comes with a little measurer. I just think this packaging is so cute. Guys, I'm in Andrea's new car. Doesn't matter. We're all friends here. This is his new vehicle.
The team who arrange it.
I mean, you guys have seen me vlog in his car before, but there's so much room in here. This is so cool. Like, this, it just looks so nice.
Wait, are you ready?
And high quality. What?
Turn the camera to you first, from there.
Go ahead.
Jacob, open the sunroof.
Okay.
He's in a different tax bracket, guys. I don't even have a sunroof. God, it opens as well.
It goes the full way back, but then I feel like I'm in a
That's a bit extreme.
early 2000s.
God, I really do look ginger.
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 What the hell? What the Haley?
What the hell?
It's all clapped for Twinkle Toes. Lovely car. Congratulations. This is the coolest thing for me. Wireless phone charging.
It's got to be on that one though.
Ah, should we see if it works? Let's test it out. Oh my god, it works. Can't hear a thing.
By this point in my old car, it'd sound like the engine were gonna fucking jump out.
Yeah, guys, what do we think? It's giving quiet. I finished all my client check-ins for the day. Now I'm going for a little joyride with Twinkle Toes before I go back to my sister's for night 2 of the hypochondria sleepover. I mean, I kind of wish you'd not told me that, like, if you lie flat on your back as a pregnant person, it can cut off your blood circulation, because I didn't sleep at all. Because I kept waking up being like, she on her back.
She on the back.
Like, guys, I did not sleep at all. But I suppose it's also something that's good to be aware of. And I've just been having a little bit of a meltdown over my bangs. I feel like I loved it earlier and now I'm panicking that it's a bit too short. I think it's also probably not helping that I've not styled it properly and the style has fallen out.
I really like your hair.
You would say that. You want me to be ugly so no one fancies me. I just wanted to show you Twinkle Toes' car because I thought that was fun. Nothing says getting back on track quite like getting a new car. Morning, guys. I'm just about to try and make myself look a little bit more presentable because I'm going to the gym. I'm carrying on today. Yesterday obviously I didn't go. Today we are back. I'm continuing to film my full week of workouts. I've got to go and do legs and I'm gonna do a bit of cardio just because I want to film like all the different types of cardio that I like to do. It makes sense to have like different outfits on for that. I've also ran out of xxxxxxx moisturizer again, like the millionth time. I've completely ran out of it. Another one is coming today, thank God. So I'm just having to use serum. Still a ton of moisturizers from my advent calendar from last year. I'm so scared to put stuff on my skin that I haven't done before, especially because I don't know if I have mentioned it in this vlog or a previous one, but my perioral dermatitis is starting to flare back up again. It's gone down like quite a bit. We're starting to come back and I don't want to go back on antibiotics because I just feel like I'm not anti-medicine in any way, shape or form. Like, sign me up to the paracetamol. I'll take all the paracetamol and Tylenol in the world, quite frankly. I turned out just fine. I was eating that shit like Tic Tacs. So I'm definitely not anti-medicine, anti-science, but like the science does suggest that being on antibiotics all the time, it's not that great for you, you know, it's not the best. So ideally that's not really a solution for me, like just being like, well, you just have to be on antibiotics all the time to basically keep it away. I mean, I'm glad I have that in my back pocket because I know Limecillin literally gets rid of it for me. It's just when I come off it, I get like 4 to 6 weeks of clear skin and then it starts back up again. But I'm trying to really like look into everything else. I'm leaving this area clean today. I'm not putting foundation on. I'm just going to do a bit of bronzer and concealer to make myself Look alive. The one thing that I haven't tried, I've tried a lot of things. I've tried the azelaic acid, the nappy rash cream. The one thing I haven't tried, which a lot of people say is game changer for them, so I'm hoping this is the key for me, is changing my toothpaste. So guys, I kind of want to change my toothpaste anyway, because I've been noticing recently, after I brush my teeth, it feels like my lips are going to fall off if I don't moisturize them within 0.5 seconds. Like, my lips genuinely feel so dry directly after brushing my teeth, which is normal to an extent, but then I feel like I'm getting like a major like lip licking problem, which is just drying them out even more. And obviously I have my lip balms. Basically just feels like every time I brush my teeth, which is obviously like 2 to 3 times a day, it takes me back to square one. So I'm actually trying a different toothpaste out. It said to find an SLS free toothpaste, and then I realised a lot of people say SLS and fluoride free. So the SLS free wasn't fluoride free, and then I found another one that was SLS free and fluoride free. So I have both of those come in, and when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, if I'm having that sort of a reaction to my lips, maybe it is that's also causing it around my mouth. Because also when I think about it, it started up at the end of last year whilst I was in America, and I hadn't been using my Crest toothpaste for a while because I'd run out. When I used it before, I had no issues like the start of last year. Obviously I restocked on it when I went on the trip at the back end of last year. I can actually pinpoint my perioral dermatitis flare-ups to like around that time. That's basically when I started getting it. Very hopeful, because when I sat and thought about it, at first, like, people have tried to tell me before and I'm like, it's not my toothpaste. But when I've actually sat and thought about it, I'm like, it could be, especially because I did take a break from using that toothpaste. It could be that, guys. So I was meant to be going to Austin with Alpha Lee in like 2 weeks, but they've now changed it, so we're just going to Houston instead. So I have another American trip coming up, but I guess I won't be stocking up on my Crest toothpaste this time around, because I just, clearly it's just not agreeing with me. Even like perioral dermatitis aside, I just feel like that burning sensation I'm getting with my lips, that is not normal. Like, the thought of having to go and do photo shoots, which I'm not super comfortable with anyway, especially with Alpha Lee. Nothing against them, it's just because I never really shoot with them. So when I do, I feel really awkward, and I genuinely feel like people ask me about this all the time, because people say I'm photogenic. I'm not. You guys see like the photos I like, you don't see the thousands that I don't. Like, obviously I'm used to shooting with twinkle toes now, so we don't really have to take loads for him to get a picture that's good, or like a picture that I like. With Alpha Lee, I never shoot with them, so I don't really know them in terms of shooting. They don't really know me. To be fair, I think since Gabby has come in, the lighting looks so much better on the shoots. Like, I feel like I always look dry on the pictures. It looks like they're now using much more glowy lighting, which I think is just much more flattering. I am feeling more hopeful about that, but yeah, it does make me a bit nervous. And then having like giant like rash on my skin, which if it was to flare up badly, you cannot cover it with makeup. If you put makeup over it, it actually looks worse, because it gets so dry and it just clings to it and it irritates it further. I actually can't think of anything worse than being in an environment taking photos where I'm not super comfortable anyway. And that's nothing against anyone, by the way, that's just like how I feel, because I never shoot with them, so I just don't have that comfortability there. It is actually kind of wild when I think about it. Like, I've been there nearly 6 years and I feel like I don't really, not that I don't know anyone, but I don't really know people. Like, there's a good chunk of people that I've not actually met. I really need to get a new mascara. I feel like I said this 3 vlogs ago, but we are drying out. We are like the Sahara Desert. Yeah, I won't be stocking up on Crest, but if you guys, do you guys want a Houston vlog? I don't know if it's ever that interesting. Let me know if you want one and I will try and vlog that week, but I don't know if they're actually that great vlogs, because I'm going to be shooting for Black Friday, which means I won't be able to show the product that we're actually shooting. And I'm pretty sure there's quite a big group of us going as well. I'm sure there'll be like plenty of like team bonding stuff, which I don't really want, especially if it's like my first or second time meeting people. I don't want to be shoving my camera in people's faces, but do let me know if you do want a Houston vlog and I will do it. Bam, 11 minutes, and if I wasn't yapping, I'd have probably done that in 5. I'm going to try and do something with my bangs. I know I mentioned last night that I was like, what have I done? I was being dramatic. It's just because I've not styled them. I realised I didn't explain it properly yesterday. So there's the issue with my parting, which is why he said no to the full fringe. But it was also because I wasn't wanting a full fringe cut in with the intention of always wearing it as a full fringe. It was more like, you can wear it to the side, you can wear it full. He basically said that only really works if you have a bigger forehead. And because I've got a small forehead, the length that he would have to cut it to be able to wear it in the middle and it not poke me in the eye, it would then be way too short to push it to the side. It's like, I'm gonna have to cut it to there, or like maybe like like there, and then if you try and push that to the side, it's just going to swing back. You're not going to be able to wear it to the side. That's something to consider if you have a small forehead. We'll go and do it together. I'll go in my room where my hair wrap is. This is actually so funny right now. I look like a pixie e-girl. This is just so funny to me. I literally look like a pixie e-girl. Please don't tell me that you don't like them, because I will cry. I'm just gonna like try and lift it to get like volume. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So that a lot of people will go away, but I feel like if I go away, they're just a bit too short for going away right now. See that, like, if I wanted to do it a bit in the middle, I probably could. I'm gonna use super diddy rollers. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation. Even when they were a little bit longer, that's still how I do my bangs. I basically curl them away or towards, or a mixture of both, depending on how I want them to sit that day. If you want that more like curved under, like sort of like bouncy fringe look, you need to do it towards. If you want the more flicky, wispy sits away from the face and sort of like to do it away. Okay, I'm feeling a vanillic vibe today, so I'm gonna do my Lattafa Eclair. What is it? I feel like it's with any caramelly perfume. The top goes like this. By the way, if when you're putting perfume on, no one can smell you. Just put a little bit more on it. I promise it won't hurt, it won't harm, it won't hurt. Or some people think it might. I don't drink much. I don't do drugs. If perfume is a thing that takes me out, be 6 feet under, because like I need to be allowed to have something in life, okay? I don't do any of the other things. Allow me my body care and scent products, okay? Please. Okay, let's go. Gym. I wanted to just show you my little gym OOTD because I feel like part of getting back on track, like obviously you don't always have to dress up for the gym or dress nice. Sometimes you just want to roll out of bed and put a tracksuit on, and I'm a big advocate of that, especially when you are in a rut and you can't be asked to get yourself ready. Don't convince yourself you need to get ready to go to the gym. Shove on a tracksuit and go. On the flip side, sometimes putting on a cute fit and being a little bit more intentional with the gym fit can make you a bit more excited to go to the gym. It really depends. You will either be the other way or this way. This week I'm falling this way, probably because I'm filming a full week of workouts, so I don't really have too much of a choice. Some joggers, some oversized joggers, nice baggy. I've got on my wheat pump shorts, and then I have just got on my white cape jacket. Let's go. Feel like it's actually probably a wiser idea to take my bangs out just in case they have gone a little curly Sue, so that when I get to the gym I don't need to sit in my car. That is actually so funny. That's how I look with a full fringe. Cute. She's perfect. This is literally perfect. This is exactly how I wanted them to look. So got my energy drink in tow. I'm going to put on some Paramore. Is it just me or did we all have a Paramore face? That's another tip actually. The music that you actually really enjoy, it puts you in a much better mood, and if you're bored of music, go back to your old music, because we all had a Paramore phase. I had a Paramore phase and I was listening to Paramore all day yesterday. Right, okay, let's go. Okay, I'm now back from the gym whilst my lunch is in the air fryer. This is another tip for you. Make easy meals. Make easy meals. Like even the stir fry I made the other day, it looked cool because it's a stir fry, but it's actually, well actually no, stir fries are notoriously easy, but looking at it you'd think, oh that looks good, so it must have taken a long time. In reality, no. Same with my air fryer lunch. I'm about to have loads of different micronutrients in it to help me with my health, really boosting up my vitamins and minerals, but it's not taking me long. I've got chicken, and then I really like parsnips, and I saw parsnips in Marks and Spencer's the other day and I was like, why do I deprive myself of the joy of a good old roast parsnip 11 months out of the year? No, I'm not doing it anymore. So I've got parsnips, sweet potato, carrots, and then I'm going to add in some broccoli near the end, because broccoli roasts a lot quicker, and when it burns it goes so like ugh. But look, I've just got my like festive veggies in there and it smells so good. In that, whilst I'm cooking that, I am going to make myself a cheeky little matcha. Got a little bit of cinnamon. A bit of banana bread syrup or paste. I feel like it's more of a paste than it is a syrup at this point. And my matcha, it's the more than matcha, which I really like. I keep it in the fridge to keep it fresh. Then I'm just gonna whisk my matcha. I think the water might be a little bit hot. Adding the matcha in. Lovely little banana bread matcha to have with my lunch. Ugh, guys, she's just... I'm so glad I started making my homemade matcha syrups, because this banana bread matcha It's nicer than Blank Street in my opinion. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And look at how green the matcha is. Like, this is what we want. So good. It literally tastes like banana bread. Okay, my lunch is done. I've got a shit ton of micronutrients. I've got my sweet potato, parsnips, carrots, broccoli and chicken. It's quite a lot of volume. Like, this is an entire half plate, veggies and potatoes, which is really going to fill me up. And then I've just got some peri peri chicken. Cannot express enough, if you are trying to get back on track, you need to remove as many barriers to doing so as possible. For some people, for food, that might come in the form of meal prep. People that work from home, or they work for themselves, or they've got more time, that might just be not choosing the most complicated recipes. I would highly recommend choosing air fryer recipes, one pan recipes, wok recipes, anything that's going to basically reduce the amount of washing up that you have to do, because I feel that's a huge thing. Well, it is for me anyway. I hate washing up. Possible, reduce the prep time, reduce the cooking time. You can be completely hands off of that meal. It's like 5 minutes to prep it, and then as soon as it's in, you can go and do something else. Make a matcha, get a bit of work done, get 15 minute steps in for all I care whilst it's cooking. But you just need to make sure that you remove many barriers as possible when it comes to getting back on track. And with food, like I said, it might come in the form of meal prep for some people, 45 minutes to an hour out of one day of the week, or 2 days of the week if you want to do a few days at a time. Meal prep those meals to get yourself ready. It might just be choosing things that are really easy to do, easy to cook, and very hands off. They don't require a load of prep, they don't require a load of keeping an eye on things. You can really just go about the rest of your day. So I'm gonna eat this and get on with something else that I really need to do as part of getting back on track, that I keep putting off, but we're gonna do it together. Guys, my next tip, top tip, getting yourself in a good mindset, getting yourself raring to go again, is looking after your environment and making sure your environment is tidy. My space is cluttered, my brain is cluttered, and especially when you're trying to get back on track with things and just feel like on top form, it's not helpful when you have mess. It needs to be a judgment-free space, okay, because my room is diabolical right now, but I've not really been here for 2 days because I've been staying at my sister's house. Oh god, guys, it's really bad. So my bed has clothes all over it. In my defence, this is fresh washing that I need to put away, and I've literally just brought it upstairs. But if I come around here, this is a mess. I have stuff out from underneath my bed that needs to go back. My chair is full. We all have a chair. And if you don't have a chair, fair play to you, you are adulting on X Games mode, because in my opinion, we all have a chair. This is my chair. There's like mess on here. My like filming workspace is also not looking good. Because I've had Alpha Elite packages, so this is all new Alpha Elite stuff. Shit everywhere, so I'm going to start in my room because that's the bigger task. It just makes everything so much harder, so I'm going to put on some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City whilst I tidy my room. But yeah, I really need this to be a judgment-free space. I know it's bad. It's affecting my brain, which is why we're doing something about it, because well-being is not just what you're doing in the gym, it's what you're doing outside of the gym. And I genuinely, even if you are like a slightly messier leaning person, I don't think any of us function that well when our environment is a mess, and my room is just a mess. I'll be honest, part of it is because I'm really running out of room, but that's not an excuse and I need to find a solution. So that's what we're gonna do. We've made some good progress. I've put all that stuff in a little box down here, and then I've just got Andrew's birthday presents that I need to sort out down here, but like, oh, that is so much better. I already feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, like in my room right now, because there's not shit everywhere, which is really nice. A little bit of housekeeping to do. I've got 2 Vinted orders I need to send, and then a giveaway package and this perfume giveaway package that has literally been sitting in my room. It's been ready to go. I just need to package it up and print off the shipping label. So I'm going to do that now, take those and then go get some steps in. I've just had to take some codeines because I'm coming on my period and I feel like I could pass out from pain right now. So I've had to just take 2 codeines. I can't let my period get in the way again. Housewives of Salt Lake City, guys, it's just the best. Like, they really do drama well on Salt Lake City. It's definitely one of the best ones, so I'd highly recommend watching. But I'm going to sort these packages out and then Good morning. We've made it to Friday on the first week of getting back on track. Yeah, I didn't film anything yesterday because yesterday I needed to film a good chunk of my Alpha Elite review. Let me not start trying to vlog today because it's then just another thing that I have to... Because I hate when I go to edit a vlog and I've filmed like one clip for a day and I just feel like I may as well have not done that because I've said all this stuff and then I've just not carried on filming. But yeah, that was yesterday. I also had my Botox appointment yesterday. Obviously, she's not kicked in yet, so that's obviously like step number 6 of getting back on track, is getting Botox. Obviously, it's not promoting Botox. You don't need it. The reason I get it is because when I don't get it, I've had like a permanent line between my eyebrows since I was like 17. So I don't even think, well, it's nothing to do with aging. It's just I clearly do this a lot, which I do this a lot. And yeah, I have a permanent line, so I get Botox like 1 to 2 times a year. And this is a thing as well, because people say if you've already got a line, Botox won't help you. Well, in my case, it does. It gets rid of the line every time for me. Like keeps it at bay until it wears off. I don't think I believe, honestly, in preventative Botox. Like, you've got nothing, no lines, no fine lines, nothing, and you just start getting Botox. I'm sure that people will disagree with me on that, but that is my personal opinion. I don't believe in it. I just think you're prolonging how long you're getting Botox for, if that's even a path that you want to go down. You're just prolonging how long you're getting it for. Like, if you're considering getting it, I'm not saying wait until you've got like really deep set lines all over your face, because yeah, at that point, probably isn't much that Botox will be able to do for you. Getting Botox when you have no lines is kind of crazy to me, but then I guess some people get it for skin related improvements as well. Botox in their jaw, that's nothing to do with lines, that's to do with their masseters and like grinding their teeth. Although I do think, are we in an epidemic of people grinding their teeth, or do people just want a slimmer lower face? Okay. But I was saying on Instagram yesterday, you know, like the whole like glass skin thing with influencers and skincare. And I'm not saying they have like shit skin and it's just the Botox. Obviously, they have great skin and I'm sure the skincare products do help them out somewhat. But I would proceed with extreme caution in putting all your eggs in the basket of the products that they use, because a lot of them have Botox. And there is something that Botox does to your skin that no skincare product can do. Like, but my forehead, when my Botox kicks in, it's not just about like the fine lines. It has like a shine to it. Like, my forehead looks like you could fry an egg on it. Like, it has like a glass shine to it. When you think of Botox, you probably think of the celebrities with the really shiny skin. I would just take some glass skin content with a little bit of a pinch of salt. I'm now just putting on, I've not used this yet, it's the Rhode, I'm so late to the party on this, it's the Rhode blush in Toasted Teddy. Very late to the party on this one. You guys know I love my House Labs ones. I think I've tried a Rhode blush before. One of my best friends really likes Rhode products, like she likes the skincare and she got the phone case, so I got her like a set of like a lip thing, a lip liner and a blush for her birthday, but it was £7 for shipping, and I was like, I'd rather spend a bit more and get something and not have to pay £7 for shipping, which is really illogical. And I know that the logic isn't there on that one, but in my brain I was just like, £7 for shipping, and it's not even next day, it's just standard delivery. I picked up the Toasted Teddy blush for myself and we're just gonna give it a whirl. I'm just putting a little bit of makeup on. I'm going to the gym today. Oh, I might have put a bit much on because I don't have any foundation on underneath. Definitely do prefer the finish of my House Labs ones though. Like, they have a really like glossy balm finish. This is definitely giving me more like cream to powder sort of vibe. It's also going a bit patchy, but I don't know if that's just because I don't have makeup on underneath it. I don't know, it looks a bit patchy to me. But again, it could be because I've not put a base on underneath. My workout for more full week of workouts content, I need to get that video like basically finished. I'm going to film my session today and then I need to get that video basically done and dusted today. Oh fuck, my back is absolutely killing me. I swear to God, this period, this go around has really fried my back when it comes to my period pains. I do get back pain sometimes, but this time round, ooh, the back pain. If you are not watching Celebrity Traitors, guys, you've got to watch it. You really do have to watch it. It's so good. So good. Alan Carr is making me absolutely laughing. Well, not literally, but he is so funny and he's being so obvious. Tom Daly and how much he just clearly doesn't like Kate Garraway is absolutely hilarious to me as well. Like, he's just not having any of it. I won't talk too much more about it because I don't want to give any spoilers if you want to go ahead and catch up. Yeah, you should watch it. It's really, really, really good. Whoever did the casting, Celebrity Traitors series, deserves a raise because it's a really good cast. You've got such a good mix of like some lesser known people or well known people, mix of ages, but then also like they're just a good mix of how well known people are. Like you've got like household names and it's like cross generational as well. Like my mum's like, oh, that so and so's in it, and I'm like, oh, Nico and Kat Burns are in it. Obviously we are nearing the end of week 1 of getting back on track, so I thought I would actually just give you an update on how I'm feeling and also a fitness update in general, because as you guys know, I have a coach at the moment. I've been working with a coach for about 2 months or so now, so I thought now that we're about 2 months in, I've definitely not had a smooth run at things, especially considering last week I was so not well. But from this week's check-in pictures, I'm gonna put my starting point and where we're currently at over here so that you guys can see. And I'm kind of like, I said this on Instagram because I shared it on Instagram, nervous about sharing because I feel like people want to see like crazy transformations, like big transformations, but because of my starting point and the fact I'm just like tightening up, I'm not doing like crazy things, I'm just trying to like drop body fat and basically tighten things up. There isn't like, I'm not really gonna have that like crazy sort of transformation that some people have, so I was almost like nervous to share it because I was like, people are going to be like, you look no different, because it's more, when you're doing something like that, it's more in the subtle changes. There's not going to be like this huge, great, big, fat, stinking transformation. It's more in like subtle changes. So for me, I'm definitely noticing my waist has come in. I have a lot more definition, even noticing difference in my delts. Like my delts just look better. Like I have a very dominant upper body, but I feel like just training it a little bit and cutting down body fat is really helping just with like the overall shape of my upper body, which is something that I am really insecure about and have been for a while, because I've basically come from the ground of, if you've followed me for a while, like I was a really hard gainer. I found it really difficult to gain weight, really struggled to gain weight, found it hard to build muscle, had to work really hard to do that. And I've gone from that to, I didn't put on like loads of weight, but now I find it really difficult to lose weight, and where I store body fat has changed, and I definitely just generally store more body fat than I used to. I gain weight easier than I used to, which, you know, that's something that people have like literally all their lives. You know, some people would say, well, at least you had X amount of time of not having to deal with that, but it's almost like my body's done not a complete 180, like that's really dramatic, but it's just changed, and it's something that I have definitely struggled with and been quite insecure about, especially with the body fat in my upper body, because I have like a dominant upper body. Like I could not train upper body for 2 months, but I'll go and train it with twinkle toes and he'll be looking at my back and he'll be like, you're actually so wham, like jacked, like I can see all your muscles, which is probably just from years of training. And I still do RDLs, and a lot of the lifting to like even just lifting the weights for my leg days will help with maintaining that muscle mass. But that combined with the fact that that's where I store more body fat on my body, it just adds more size, and it's something that I have been insecure about. So I'm definitely noticing a change in like the sort of shape of my upper body, and I just feel tighter. There's definitely been some body fat loss. I would say there's also been a huge amount of like water retention lost, because I do believe I was holding on to a lot of water for lack of movement. Like my steps were not great. My steps are now set at 8,500 a day. Lack of movement, like I feel like that was impacting on my digestion, but also just impacting on like how I generally felt in my body. I do think my food choices were also playing a role as well, but I do think I was definitely less 80-20, probably more 60-40 for a good period of time. So just back to that sort of 80-20 mark with my food, because I don't believe in completely restricting, but I do believe in being smart with things. Like, and I notice a huge difference in my appetite as well when I'm eating more whole foods. I just don't have the same appetite and I don't get through as many calories so easily when I'm eating more whole foods. So that's definitely changed with like my appetite, but it's definitely, I think, helped to reduce water retention in my body as well. And the body fat has obviously come from being in a calorie deficit. Yeah, I'm definitely not done yet, which I know some people might be like, Amy, you look good, like there's no point carrying on, but I'm not done yet. I feel like this is a point where I'd normally stop. I want to carry on because I just want to push myself a little bit more out my comfort zone. I feel like that's something I've not done for a while. It's one of the reasons why I got a coach, because I wanted really pushing out my comfort zone. I wanted that extra level of accountability to like a bodybuilding bikini lean level, just a little bit further than I would normally push, just to challenge myself. And even as a coach myself, it's good to put myself in the shoes of my clients sometimes as well. So yeah, I also think it is good to share the less wild transformations. Like I said, I'm not done yet. I do think it's good to share like the less extreme transformations so that people can see like you don't have to have like a crazy transformation, be working really hard. Like not every single transformation is going to be you look like a totally different person. It might just be like subtle tweaks that make you more comfortable in your body, and that's what matters most. Like out of everything, that is what matters most. I'm sure there are plenty of people who think even my starting point, I didn't need to go on a diet, and you are absolutely right in saying that. I do not need to be dieting. It's more of a want than a need, but that's still okay. I'm not doing anything dangerous. I'm not massively exerting myself. I'm not doing anything that's putting my body in a less healthy position. And this is nothing to do with even like the body fat loss or being in a calorie deficit. The habits that I'm building are making me healthier than I was before. So you can't argue with that. Yeah, I definitely did miss the gym last week whilst I was unwell, but sometimes you just have to rest, because last week I kept trying to get back into the swing of things and it just was not working. Like it was not working out for me. So I just ended up having to go on like complete rest, and I'm so glad I did, because this week I felt so much better. Getting my cardio in, I still have an hour left to do. I honestly can't complain. I'm very happy with how things are going. Especially when you're trying to get back on track, there's certain things where it's like, oh, tracking feels like a bit of a ball ache. Getting my steps in feels like a bit of a ball ache. I just have to remind myself, and I had this conversation with a client the other day, that this is the mindset that gets me in the positions that I end up really unhappy in, where I'm not making progress, I never reach my end goal, I start a goal and don't finish it, because I fall into this mindset of, oh well, like I generally know what I'm eating, like I don't really need to track, or like, oh, I'm sure my steps don't make that much of a difference. It doesn't matter if I don't do the steps like 3 days of the week, and then before you know it, 3 days turns into 4 days, and 4 days turns into the entire week, and then it's, oh, I'll start again on Monday. And that is the exact mindset that gets me never reaching my end goal. Like, so I have to break the pattern at some point. I have to break that chain, because otherwise I'm never ever gonna get to it. And things won't always feel fun, things won't always feel exciting, you won't always want to go out and do your steps, you won't always wake up. Like, I always get asked about how I'm so motivated with the gym. I'm not. I would say about one session of the week I'm really excited to go to the gym. I feel better once I've done it. I'm fine once I'm there. I do enjoy it when I'm there. It's not like I'm forcing myself to do something I absolutely despise. It's just the getting there 90% of the time is the battle. And I've said it before, but like the truth is, yeah, as much as people think self-care is you get in the bath, you light yourself a candle, you spend a night doing fuck all, sometimes that is self-care. Sometimes self-care is going against every fibre of what your brain is trying to talk you out of doing. You need to go against your brain sometimes, because your brain wants to take the path of least resistance. It's cold outside, your bed's cosy, your brain wants to stay in bed, it doesn't want to get out, get up and go to the gym. Raining outside, the path of least resistance is, well, I can't get my steps in because I can't go outside and, God forbid, get wet. Over the past 2 months, the amount of rainy walks I've been on, been insane, and I've finally broken this pattern of like, I can't get steps in if it's raining. Yes, you can. You're not, it's not acid pouring from the sky. It's water. Put a coat on. And no, it's not the like nicest thing in the world, but it does make me feel better. And I do think I have a walking pad, yes, but there is a huge difference between doing my steps outside, just being on the walking pad. I feel like just from being outside, even if the weather's not nice, I get a lot of mental benefits. I don't know if it's the fresh air or just being outside. I like people watching. I don't like being inside all the time. I get a bit cabin feverish. So sometimes self-care is getting yourself up and doing what you need to fucking do. It's not sitting in bed all day because your brain's telling you that you can't be arsed. Sometimes you are gonna have to go against your brain, and that is basically the story of my life. I don't feel motivated all the time, guys. I don't want to get up and spring out of bed and go to the gym all the time. Like, I don't really particularly want to do those things. I'm doing it, and once I've done it, I feel so much better and I feel accomplished. I've said this before, but yes, I do believe that like once in a blue moon things don't matter. Once in a blue moon, not tracking your food, if that's something that you do. Once in a blue moon, skipping a session is okay if you feel like, do you know what, I'm not up to it today. The issue I have had in multiple phases where I've gone through these phases is I take that too far. So I'll convince myself, oh well, it's just like one session doesn't make a difference. One session skip doesn't make a difference in the grand scheme of a couple of months. But if you are going to tell yourself, oh well, one session skipped doesn't really matter, once or twice a week, every single week for 6 months, that does build up. And I'm talking for people who have like very specific goals. I'm not talking about people who are just a bit into the gym and you want to live your life. You can go and do that. But the same thing goes for like weekends off, weekends like eating out for every single meal and just getting whatever you want. So fine if that's what you want to do, but if you have a specific goal, I'm telling you now, that is going to become increasingly difficult. Once in a blue moon, fine, but if that then becomes every weekend, it does become a problem. I've had that at the start of my journey with my coach. My weekends were very off, and it made me realise I'm actually doing what I tell all my clients not to do, but I for some reason think that my body can get away with it and it's not going to impact. It does impact things, it slows things right down. And the final thing is that I just want to make people aware of is don't focus too much on scale weight, because I was getting really sort of down on myself because the scale weight hasn't really moved much for me. Like I've only lost like half a kilo of weight in like 2 months. The physical difference in how I feel and how I look is what I'm more bothered about. Like I'm not bothered about being X weight. It's not something that I've ever really bothered with, but I was panicking thinking because the scale weight isn't budging, like I must not be making progress. But that's just not true. Like my clothes are fitting me differently, I look different, I feel different. So don't get too caught up in scale weight either, which I know a lot of people can do. But the way I always put it to clients is if you were to do your progress pictures in the morning and you're really happy with them and you think, yeah, like I'm smashing it, like I look so good, and the only thing that sort of puts doubt in your mind about that is when you then go to weigh yourself and you weigh the same, or you've not lost as much as you thought you should have done. Maybe it's time to step away from the scales for a bit. Luckily, I don't have that extreme relationship with them. It was just more so like confusing because I was like, I feel different, but like the scale's not moving, so I don't know. My coach was basically saying because of like the sort of point I've started at and the sort of shape I've started in, she's not expecting to see like drastic drops in terms of scale weight. They're going to be more of like a body recomposition sort of thing. Yeah, that's my sort of fitnessy update. I'm carrying on with my cut. I will probably be taking a break whilst I'm in America just because that's going to be really difficult to keep up with, which by the time this vlog goes up I might be going this week, or I might be in America now. Don't know how I'm going to schedule videos, but yeah, I thought I would just give you an update. But I've yapped for way too long. Now a little bit later than planned for me to be heading to the gym, but I'm going to head to the gym to film this final workout for my full week of workouts YouTube.
Okay, my final session, don't know what happened to my voice there. Final session of the week, and I was just doing my final, oh my god, you've got 2 quads and glutes sessions in this video, crazy. So here I'm just starting off with my barbell hip thrusts. So I've been over these to death. I'm going to critique my own form here because it's hard to tell because of my joggers, but actually my feet are a little far out here. So can you guys see how when I'm coming up to the top, hopefully me critiquing my own form will help you guys. When I'm coming up to the top, my shins look sort of forward still. I'm not getting that like 90-degree angle at the knee. So actually what I need to do is move my heels a little bit closer to my bum, shuffle my feet in a little bit, and then I would have excellent form for these. But everything else with my form is pretty good. I'm obviously struggling here to get that full lockout at the top, so I'm not actually going to be counting that rep. So here I'm just doing 1 heavier set and then I do 2 lighter sets. So now I'm just going into one of my lighter sets, and again I've done the same thing again. I can't tell if it's my joggers or my legs. It's hard to tell. I'm trying to like analyze it, but I think my feet might be a smidge too far out. But again here, just making sure that you lock out properly at the top. You're reaching full extension. If you are not reaching full extension on a hip thrust, you are not going to be getting the most out of this movement, and you are leaving a lot of gains on the table. The top portion of a hip thrust, of a bridge, is where your glutes are being targeted and used the most. So please, for the love of God, utilize that and make sure that you get a nice strong lockout at the top. So we're moving on here and we are moving into pendulum squats. So again, I'm starting lighter with heavier, starting lighter with lower reps and moving up to heavier, starting lighter with higher reps, moving into heavier with lower reps. That has actually been quite an adjustment for me on this program I'm currently on, because I'd gotten quite used to actually moving from my like top set, if you will, my heaviest set, and then like doing sort of back off sets, which I do with some sets, but with pendulum squats I kind of hate doing these now, because I feel like by the time I get to doing my heaviest set I feel so like absolutely annihilated basically. But yeah, I'm just doing my first set here, and the main thing for me with these is making sure that even on my lighter sets, I'm treating all my sets as equal and still pushing myself fairly hard on these. And by the end of this week, I was feeling like very much back in the swing of things. My soreness had been okay, my recovery had been good, so I was really ready to sort of just like lock in. God, are we sick of that word yet? I don't know, but I was just ready to lock in and get the session done essentially. So here I am just doing, I believe this was my heaviest set. It's either my heaviest set or my second heaviest set. I can't remember which ones I filmed, because at the time of me doing this, I've just got back from Houston, guys. Like I'm editing this like 2.5 weeks after I filmed it. So yeah, I'm just doing one of my heavier sets here, and hopefully me including both shows you guys that my control over the weight, I'm not rushing through the reps, I'm not like flying out of the hole at the bottom with my squats, I'm still lifting with a good level of control. Hopefully it shows you guys between the lighter weights and the heavier weights, I treat them the exact same. So making sure that when you are doing your pendulum squats, hack squats, you're not bouncing out of the bottom. Can you see how when I come down, in a second when I'm ready to, but can you see how when I come down, I'm not like bashing my hamstrings off my calves, I'm not bouncing out of the bottom of the hole, I'm using my quads and glutes to push myself back up. I'm not using the momentum basically. As always, I know you guys are sick of me saying this now, but muscle and not momentum. So then I'm moving on to doing some split squats. I'm using my dumbbells here, dumbbells in either hand, just to make sure that I can get enough weight to stick to the rep range. I do actually, for a lot of lunge movements, prefer using one dumbbell, but with these, because obviously I'm aiming for 2 sets of 5 to 7 reps, in order to get like a challenging enough weight to push me close to failure with 5 to 7 reps, I have to use 2 dumbbells. Otherwise I cannot get for like such a simple movement like a split squat. It's not a Bulgarian, like it's not harder in that way, it's not harder with balance. I have to use 2 dumbbells, otherwise I just keep going for like 20 reps. So I'm using 2 dumbbells here and then resting between legs before I go into my other leg. And gorgeous, just going into my other leg here. In terms of what I'm trying to bias here, I am doing these a little bit more well, not more quad bias. I like to do them sort of a happy in between. I'm not like massively pushing my hips back to make sure it's super glute dominant, but I'm also not massively like putting a huge stretch on my quads on my front leg, like my knee shooting right over my toe. I go with sort of like a neutral stance with these so that I'm hitting them equally. Honestly, I don't know if that's the stance I'm meant to be doing. I don't know if my coach wants these more quad biased or more glute biased, but that's how I've been liking doing these. And honestly, like just a normal dumbbell split squat, not a Bulgarian, is not something I have done it before, but I've not done it probably since I was a beginner. So it's honestly a really nice switch up in movement, and it's nice to do something that, you know, I've not done in a while. So then I'm moving on to my single leg extensions. So I'm doing 2 sets of 8 to 12 per leg, 1 leg rest, other leg rest, 1 leg rest, other leg rest. That's basically how I'm doing these. I love doing my single leg extensions because personally we all have imbalances, but I do feel like I have quite a not like super abnormal imbalance, but I definitely do have a notable difference in the strength between my legs and like the output that I can get between my legs. So it's not something I've ever actually done before in terms of trying to work on it. Single leg extensions are not something I do frequently. I have tended to stick with just bilateral instead of doing them unilateral. Like I've always just done standard leg extensions, but I've actually been really enjoying doing these, and it's really helpful to be able to notice and pinpoint exactly which leg is weaker. And so I always try to make sure that I start on my weaker leg, and then I will essentially match the reps on my stronger side to basically give my weaker leg the opportunity to catch up. So I'll do my weaker side first. Let's say I get 8 reps on that leg, then I'll do my stronger leg, and my stronger leg might be able to do 12, but I'll stop at 8 because I'm basically trying to not like downgrade my stronger leg, but basically give my weaker leg a little bit more of chance to catch up, kind of. I feel like that's a good way of putting it. Then moving on to some dumbbell sumo squats. Again, this is another one that I have not done in years, but my coach has had these in my program. I will say this session is definitely quite a lot of volume. So if you are not used to doing this, you definitely don't need to do this much volume in a session. This is just how I'm being programmed at the moment. So yeah, I'm doing my dumbbell sumo squats, which is something that I've not done in a long time, but you will notice I'm not doing super high reps here. I'm only doing 2 sets, and I'm just focusing on doing them slow and controlled. So I'm trying to have like a 3 to 4 second eccentric. I nearly said eccentric then, but I mean same thing, like a 3 to 4 second eccentric, a little bit of a pause at the bottom, and then coming back up. So you can see the reps are moving very, very, very slow, just to make sure I'm getting a good stretch on my glutes, good stretch on my quads, but mainly my glutes, to be honest, is where I feel this most. And I took a break from, I used to just do sumo everything, sumo leg press, sumo deadlifts, so it's nice to actually be doing something sumo again, because I haven't for years. Finishing off now with some dumbbell walking lunges, and I do these with pretty much quite a bit of a quad bias. So instead of taking wider strides, I'm taking more narrow strides and really focusing on putting a lot of my body weight over my quad of the working leg at any given point, trying to maintain good balance. I do find, obviously you don't have to like reset in the middle after every rep, but if you are someone who struggles with balance like me, I think it will actually probably help you out a lot. So that's a little tip for you there. If you struggle with balance when you are doing walking lunges or anything like that, trying to sort of reset in the middle and then stepping out again. And as you can see, as I get towards the end of this set, I am really struggling. So making sure at this point I'm fully recovered, I'm feeling back in the swing of things, so I'm good to be pushing closer to failure again. And that was my final session of the week, of my first week back on track, and it felt pretty good, guys. It felt pretty good. And by the end of the week, I was able to push myself close to failure again in my sessions.
Okay guys, the gym is done. It's a little windy. I'm just brushing my hair and I'm gonna get a little chunk of steps in. I was gonna drive and get a coffee, but I was like, no, it's not raining, so I'm gonna get, it'll probably put a good, oh Jesus, I just caught my necklace. It'll probably put a good dent in my steps. I'm gonna go and do a little walk to the coffee shop. It's not far, but honestly, like just doing like 2,000-3,000 steps with my target being 8.5 actually gets me in a really good like standing with my step count for the day. And it's 1 PM now because it takes me so much longer to do my leg day when I'm filming. So we're just gonna go and get some steps in. And like I said, it might sound like pointless, or you might think, what's the point? But the little things that you do, this is another tip, the little things that you do, like choosing to walk somewhere that's 10 minutes away, that puts like a decent, it's not gonna get you all your steps in, but it gets a decent dent in your steps, and it gets you in the habit of moving more. Because if you just go to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, but you sit on your ass for the rest of that time, you're not as active as you think you are. And especially if you're struggling to lose body fat, likely there is an issue with your expenditure outside of the gym, not inside of the gym. Go and get some steps in, guys, and get a coffee. It'll be like the treat at the end of my very long, 5-minute trek. That was a flop because the coffee shop queue was out of the door. Out of the goddamn door. I said, I'm not waiting in that, because to be fair, I do like the coffee from there. It's Culture Coffee on Kirkstall Road, but they are, and I'm not judging them for it because they get busy, but they are also, even when I've been in when it's not busy, they're incredibly slow in there. I just thought, oh, the queue on top of how slow they usually are, we've actually might not be a useful half hour out of my day, considering I've got shit to do. So have forgiven the coffee, but I basically did walk to the shop, and then I saw the queue and turned around. So I did still get the steps in, which is good. By the way, this is my life now. I just permanently have to, call me perma bang, I have to perma roller even, put it in like that so that it doesn't go, so that my fringe doesn't look absolutely mental. Home time, let's go. Guys, it's now later in the day, but I just finished getting my steps in for the day, and I thought I would just talk a little about steps, which I touched on earlier, but I'm just going to be completely transparent. This is my steps for the week, so you can see I've started to take it a lot more seriously again. But the start of the week and over the weekend I was sick, obviously, but Monday, Tuesday, like I wasn't really coming close, even though it's meant to be like my first week back on track. So steps is definitely something that I can't really tick off for the week. This is what I want to talk about, which is if you have days where you are less active, instead of looking at your step count, and this will help you massively if you struggle with all or nothing thinking as well, instead of looking at your step count as sort of like all or nothing mindset, I have to hit 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 every single day, whatever it is. Instead of looking at it that way, look at it more as a weekly average. So if your goal is 10,000 steps a day, that's 70,000 steps a week. On average, 10,000 steps a day. But if you have less active days, if you have it in your head you have to do it every single day, you will end up in all or nothing thinking, well, I've not done it today, so what's the point? Like, I may as well write the week off. What I'm doing instead of writing my week off is I've made the effort on the days, even if I can't get it to the goal. Doing something is better than doing nothing. Like the other day when I had those really bad period pains, I was so tempted to not go, but I was like, no, even if I don't get the full 8.5 in, something is better than nothing, always. And then what you can do is you can overcompensate when you're looking at it as more of an average, and that's basically how it works anyway. But I've actually gone over my step count today so far. I'm on 10,214, and me and Twinkle Toes are gonna have a little evening together this evening, so I'll probably end the day on like 11,000-12,000. I'm gonna do the same again tomorrow and the same again on Sunday to bring my weekly average up. It will be much closer to 8.5 if I just decide, well, I'm not gonna make it to 8.5, so I just won't bother for the rest of the week. That's a really bad mindset to get into. It sort of goes back to what I was discussing this morning, but just wanted to touch on that and also empathize with people, because I feel like people go on about steps like it's really easy, and it's not. I have a very sedentary job, very sedentary lifestyle. Other than that hour to 2 hours in the gym every single day, everything I do requires me to be sat down, other than filming try-on clips. Filming reviews, I'm sat down. Vlogging, I'm sat down. Editing, I'm sat down. Talking to clients, I'm sat down. Client calls, I'm sat down. Client check-ins, I'm sat down. Everything I basically do from my laptop while sitting down. So I fully empathise with people who struggle to get their steps in, and these are basically the things that I do that helps me out. It also does massively help, which I need to get back into the habit of, if you front load some steps. Try and get some in, like I did earlier today. Ended up with 3,200 after the gym, just from going on that like 10-15 minute walk to get a coffee, which I never actually got a coffee in the end. But just from doing that, I was already, like, if I'd not done that, my steps wouldn't have even been over 8.5 today. So it's every little helps. Sometimes if you don't have all the time in the world to go on like a massive long walk, if you split it up into short bursts, it actually feels a lot more achievable. Me and Twinkle Toes are going to have an evening together. We are going out for our evening meal. I'm actually going to vlog a little bit and talk about balance, because I feel like, yes, getting back on track is great, but I don't want to frame this video in a way that like every single day needs to be perfect, and I want to show you guys how I still manage to go on like cute little date nights and do all that sort of stuff while still sticking to my program. So I'm going to chat a little bit about that as well, because I think sometimes the getting back on track vlog, it's amazing if it goes like perfectly smoothly, all home cooked meals, everything. It's not realistic. I think part of getting back on track is also getting back into the swing of going and doing the things that you like to do, whilst also doing it in a way that it still works towards your goals. And it won't always. Sometimes you just need to go and eat whatever the hell you want if it's once in a blue moon. But like I said earlier, me and Twinkle Toes do go out like pretty much like once a week most weeks. Some form of food that we're not making at home, which typically it's going to have more calories in. So I'm just being a dumbass if I don't factor it in, because I'm not going to reach my goals if I don't. So I do factor it in. But if we only went on a date night like once every 4-6 weeks, honestly, I probably wouldn't factor it in at all. But that's not the case, because we like our food and we like eating out sometimes. So I'm going to drive home, because I think Twinkle Toes might actually be nearly at mine, and I'm not even at mine. Still has that new car smell. You've changed it from pink, you bitch. You beast. How dare you? Five Guys, which brings me on to, I've lost count of the tips I've put in this video. Twinkle Toes would rather a Five Guys over a Nando's, so that's fine. I'm gonna try and get, guys, I saw someone get absolutely smoked for getting a lettuce burger. Like, yeah, it's okay to have the bun sometimes. Apparently, you can, they do a lettuce wrap or a bowl. I'm not really bothered about the lettuce wrap. I'd rather have a bowl. It's just not on the menu. So hopefully I'm gonna get one of those, which means I still get to get my takeaway, still get to enjoy socialising, but it fits within my calories, some micronutrients, because I can fill the bowl with like my pickles and my tomatoes and whatnot. Pretty low carb meal, but we usually get fries to share, don't we? Favourite.
Nando's is an easy place to keep clean.
Nando's is fairly easy, but it depends what you get, because if you've got your eyes set on a fino pitta with chips and rice, then that's going to be about
some carbs,
1,400 calories.
Yeah.
So my go-to is either I will get a fino, at the moment I will get a fino pitta with broccoli, chicken butterfly. It's one of the best things on the menu if you're trying to be more calorie conscious. And to be fair, I went off chicken butterflies for a while because I was like, it's so dry, but I feel like they've changed it since the last time I got it because I don't find it dry anymore. Then when you get the chicken butterfly, you've got more options. Not that you don't have options, you can literally get what you want, but the purpose of this is to give you tips if you're trying to stay on track, especially if it's within a diet. Have more options with sides then, because it's less calories for the main thing, so then you can probably get your chips and your rice, or your, I mean, my favourite sides, I like mash. I do like the chips from Nando's, but sometimes they're shit, and I'd rather, yeah, I have had some instances of the Nando's chips being bad. When I say chips, I mean fries, but if I say chips, you guys all think I mean crisps. I don't, I mean fries.
We're right, they're wrong.
No,
it's our language.
It's just two different ways of flipping the apple. Really do like fancy schmancy meals often, so when we do a fancy schmancy meal, honestly, I just get whatever I want because I don't do that frequently, and that's how I'm working around it, because you can still get back on track and not seclude yourself from the rest of the world and not go out and do stuff. You can still do it, but if you are wanting to stay on track, heavy on that if you are wanting to stay on track, because if you're not, all of this is irrelevant. Go and eat whatever you want. If you're wanting to try and stick to your goals and achieve your goals in a timely manner, you will need to factor things in, and that's basically how I do it. I've not really had to pull back calories from today. In some instances, I may have to pull back calories from meals either earlier in the week, so you can do calorie banking, or you can have just like a lower calorie breakfast, a lower calorie lunch to leave yourself a bit more for an evening meal. There's multiple ways of working around it. Want something higher in calorie? Alternatively, you can just eat normally and go for a lower calorie option, which is what I'm doing today. Know that a lot of people are like, tracking food is bad, having physical goals is bad, doing this, doing that is bad, but it's always coming from someone who has the body of most people's end goal. Get that they're trying to instill healthier habits in people who are really disordered with things, but wrong messenger. It's a sweeping statement in it, and tracking calories is bad for some people, but then tracking calories is really good for some people. Being more mindful of diet works really well for some people and helps to keep them healthy. Not being mindful of diet at all for people who've like struggled with food their entire life is better for them. Like, everyone is so different. I don't really like to make sweeping statements. I would never sit and say I think everyone should track their food, because I don't. I would also never sit and say or be interested in listening to someone who says that no one should track their food, full stop, because yes, you can achieve goals without tracking, but it's a lot harder. There's a lot more variables then that you're just not aware of, and it just takes you so much longer. We're gonna go to Five Guys. Twinkle Toes is gonna have to order for me because I'm scared, because I've got this like terrible, I hate going somewhere and trying to order something that's not on the menu, because I just think they're gonna look at me like, are you on drugs? We literally don't do that. But I googled it and apparently they do. It's just not on the menu. I wish we had screens at our Five Guys, but we don't. We're still stuck in the 1900s. You have to talk to people.
I feel like a screen at Five Guys would be nice, because you've
got heated seats, haven't you?
Yeah, just pop shots.
Oh, my ass is on fire, but in a good, godly way. I'll see you at Five Guys, and I will either have a burger bowl in my hands or a burger, because they've looked at me and gone, we literally don't do that.
They won't look at you and say, they'll look at me and I'll look stupid.
I know, but then I'll look stupid, because then I'll be panicking trying to order what I actually want.
Can we just circle back to the point where he says like you have this like innate fear of like ordering something that they don't do and looking stupid?
Yeah.
That's why I always fuck up my orders whenever I go anywhere, because it's something that I'm not sure about.
Scary, guys, scary. Anyway, au revoir. You're not gonna believe it.
You're not gonna believe it.
You're not gonna believe it.
They've only got fucking touchscreens.
They've added screens in. Oh my god. No,
wait.
This is actually, I'm so happy right now. Guys, you can do it. It's here. So it's here. So I'm gonna do the bowl. Oh my god, I'm literally gonna shit myself. I'm so excited right now. Guys, I feel like I actually manifested that.
You did.
You should have seen my, I wish I could have caught my live reaction. I literally gasped. Guys, I've got my burger bowl. I'm not great, guys, I'm not gonna lie. It's what I'm working with. It looks bad, but I think that's just the tomatoes are making it look bad.
The patties could have been like broken up.
Like, I do have my onions and my mushrooms under here, so
That's so much hot sauce on that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna cut through it. Just a little bit of hot sauce. My only critique would be I wish that the salad was like chopped like a burger bowl. Do you know what I mean?
It was all diced and sliced.
Yeah. Okay guys, we've just come out of Five Guys. My burger bowl was pretty decent. I feel like it should be shredded though. That's the only thing. I feel like so much better if you could mix it all together, and you can't really do that. You can chop it up yourself, they do give you cutlery. It's not that strong, like it's not really strong enough to cut through it. So I wish that like the tomatoes were shredded, the mince meat from like the burgers was shredded. That'd be pretty solid, but I get it. It's more of like an afterthought than it is like a specific menu. You're not gonna get back on track by just secluding yourself and never eating out and completely depriving yourself of anything like that. Well, I'm saying depriving yourself, I literally basically just had a salad with a burger, but you know what I mean, like getting scared of going out to eat or getting scared of saying yes to a meal with friends and stuff. You need to work around it to make things truly sustainable so that you're not constantly off track, on track, off track, on track, off track, on track. You will just have a lifestyle change because you know how to work around these things. Because I would say that if there is anything that is going to pretty much guarantee you to come off track like permanently, not doing things in moderation and trying to just have such like high level of control over absolutely everything. Better to know how to work around these things, and I think it's an important skill for people to learn because it makes dieting a lot easier and you don't have to seclude yourself. Especially I feel like for people who have like a really big goal that they want to achieve, if you do that by being so extreme and you never have a meal out, so you never learn these things, when you then come to reach the end of that goal, I feel like that's how you can end up in a constant yo-yo phase because you've not learned how to maintain that whilst actually living your life. You've basically secluded yourself for 6 months to a year. It's extreme. Like bodybuilding is extreme. That's why a lot of bodybuilders do, obviously you did, a lot of bodybuilders do end up like doing a complete, and they know, but it's just like such a mental block. Like the more you learn about how to work around it, rather than like I said earlier, just constantly say off like fuck it, it doesn't matter, like I'm going out for food so I'm just gonna have whatever I want. Fine, if that's what you want to do. If you go out for food frequently and you're wondering why you're not reaching your goal, but you're not ever considering what you're actually having, and I know it's hard because your friends will all be like, oh, just have this, just have that, just have this. You can't do that on a regular basis and reach your goals. Like I couldn't have whatever I want every single day and reach my goals. Like I just couldn't. And I know that's probably like, it feels very like satanic to say that. People will think that's like eating disorder, but it's not. Like it's just a very harsh fact of life. If most of us eat whatever we want all the time, it's not even about like putting on weight, but you would probably end up really unhealthy.
You'd feel horrific.
You would just end up unhealthy. That's enough yapping. We're going home to watch Victoria Beckham.
How much of it did you watch last night without me?
I will just start from episode 2. Really want to order, actually. Let me see if they've got it. I really want her. This is great marketing, this documentary that she's done, because I really want the contour pencil. I'm wanting like a 40 quid contour pencil, which is still incredibly expensive. He's like, oh, I like that coat. The coat was £1,400. Yeah, I'm not just casually looking up a £1,400 coat. I am, however, looking up, Jesus Christ, she's got a foundation and it's £104.
Throw it in. Do we do samples?
What the fuck? I'm actually shocked.
Vicky Becks don't fuck
I'm
about.
gonna have to TikTok this. Her perfumes are really good, by the way, guys. Okay, anyway, home time. Hello, I've just realised I'm editing this vlog and I didn't sign it off, so I hope that you guys enjoyed spending a week getting back on track with me. Ironically, I then took another week off last week because I was in Houston and I didn't end up training or eating properly at all, so I will be using, it's been really good actually for me to re-edit this vlog and see my own tips, because if you are currently off plan or off track, or you just feel like you need to get your mojo back, I'm going to be using all these tips I've put in this video this week because I am now in the same boat again in a very quick succession. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys. I'm just quickly rounding off the vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If there's anything that you guys want to see, like any more fitnessy based content or things about getting back on track or standalone workouts, like anything really fitness themed, let me know, because I know that my vlogs tend to straddle like lifestyle and fitness, but I feel like a lot of the time they probably lean more lifestyle than fitness. So if there's anything more specifically fitness leaning that you want, let me know, because this vlog is probably my first in a while where it's very fitness heavy and fitness focused. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next vlog, which will be a Houston vlog, which I'm about to start editing now. So you've got 2 vlogs coming this week. This one, sorry it's late, I was in Houston, which is why it's late, and then you have back to regular programming by Sunday. That will be the Houston vlog. So